This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids.
What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, and haven't done a commentary about life in a while, but I felt the need to do one, especially after the last couple of days. Been hectic, kind of fucked up. Anyway, so I got reprimanded at work because they feel like I was not being focused. Now, there's a deeper story to this, but I'm not gonna go into details because that's stuff that you shouldn't share on the internet. I've shared it with some friends and talked about it, and it's kind of out of my system, but I wanted to share this kind of with you guys just because I've been going through a weird phase ever since I got out of the hospital. For those who don't know, I actually ended up getting really sick and having to go to the hospital, and finding out that I have congenital heart failure, something I've been battling since August of 2017. Lost a lot of weight, significant amount of weight, about 100 pounds, which is good, but still having complications. And I haven't necessarily been myself. I acknowledge that, and you guys can tell this by the way I've been putting out content. And this is part of why I wanted to do this video, because I want to address what's been going on with content, what's been going on with my channel, what's been going on with my Twitch channel, all that stuff. A lot of things have changed since I've got sick, and things have changed at work, things have changed at home. My schedules have changed at work. School has become more taxing. Something significant happened as far as making content, which was in January when I was ready to get back on like a constant stream schedule. My PlayStation 4 died, and I had to replace it. It took me at least a month to replace it. I finally got a PS4 Pro, as you guys can see, because I've posted a review and all that. But things have been weird with my schedule, and school has gotten increasingly harder because I'm in business courses for my bachelor's degree. And so with that, me trying to deal with the whole health issue, and just different things that are changing within me as a person, and the way I look at doing content. It's just all been colliding, and it's been like a maddening sequence. It's funny because I told them, like, when they were reprimanding, it's like, yeah, things is just weird right now. Of course, it's not up to my job to care, which, to be quite honest, I shouldn't say this, but I don't really care if they care. Because I'm my priority. I'm starting to get into this weird state where, well, I wouldn't call it weird, but I've gotten to the state where I feel like I need to start prioritizing what I want, not what everybody else's want. I've always been a very agreeable, nice person, and even during the whole reprimand thing, I just let things just roll because I'm not a combative person. I just don't like drama, and I try to just ignore it as best as I can and just deal with it. I'm always dealing with things, instead of probably being as aggressive as I should be. And part of that has bleed over to the content creating thing, because I'm not very happy with the state of content creating, or content creators, I should say, because I've said this before, I'll say it again. We are the weird, whiny, probably should be ignored more than we should be paid attention to sect of the internet and social media. And as far as business is concerned, influencers, as they like to call us, because I see gaming companies try to jump through hoops to listen to what the overall consensus is, and content creators tend to jump on trends. Like if something's trending bad, they're all piling on it because it makes them money. Again, I've said this before. Content creators should be taken as seriously as like you want to take them at the most. At least you should take yourself a lot more serious than a content creator, because a content creator is going to tell you what they feel, what they think, but more importantly, what will help them monetize themselves in some cases. I'm not saying all content creators are dishonest, but at the end of the day, if there's a certain trend or there's a certain pattern of talk going around in social media, a lot of content creators will jump on that, or they feel the need to be this person who's always got something to say and stand up for the little guy and stand up against these companies and blah 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 blah, because we like to complain. Let's be honest, as a society we like to complain a hell of a lot more than we probably ever have. Now I'm not saying, I shouldn't say that, because we probably complain just as much. The difference is with social media and with content creating, we can do so and be heard a lot more, especially if you're a content creator who has a large following. There's enough voices to pick up whatever you say and start to carry it. It's just like with the SOCOM thing. That's one of the big things that we see on social media. The SOCOM community, or at least the complainers of the community, are loud, proud, out there. They're hitting up personally different execs of Sony and harassing them, belittling them, threatening them, all this stuff, doing childish things. Some people are doing things in a more diplomatic way. I'm not saying the whole community does that, but there's a lot of childish motherfuckers out there where if I'm Sony, I'm like, fuck you. And it's just like, it's one of those things about the content creating and, the YouTube, Twitch community that just fucking turns me off. And it's like, I found myself being more happy once I got my PlayStation 4, just playing games and not having to deal with the noise. So I'm at a point where I'm wondering, where am I going with content creating? Plus, I just bought a new TV. 4K content creating is not affordable for me. It's not necessarily cost feasible for most, and you have so many limitations to it. Well, I wouldn't say so many, but there's a big limitation. In particular, HDR content. You cannot produce HDR content unless you can find some way to MacGyver your shit, which I don't know of. If it's out there, please tell me. But at the same time, that's costing money. I'm not spending extra money. Now, I've solved my content creating problem for me, and I'll go into that in my review of my new TV. I got an HD TV. I got a 4K TV now. But, it's just like, where am I going? And it's like, I love doing content. I want to keep creating content. I feel like right now, podcasting is my niche, but I want to still do individual videos, talks, things like this with you guys. But I have to find time, and now that I figured out how to record footage, it's easier for me to do that. And again, all that will be explained in the review for my Samsung TV, which, by the way, is fucking awesome. But yeah. So it's just like, I'm at a point now, like, everything's changing in my life, and it's just like being very, very weird. And I feel like there's nobody around who's willing to understand that and to willing to try to help me, or at least understand to the point, my job, my friends, my family, like, kind of give me a moment to figure things out, because it's hard, especially when you come off of a life-threatening situation like I did. The adjustment isn't quick. I wish it were quicker for my sake and for their sake, but it's not. And I'm going through a lot of things, even with the content stuff. My views and opinions on how the way that things are done now. And it's not YouTube. It's actually the content creators themselves that's bothered me. That's the funny part. It's the content creators themselves that bother me. Maybe I've been enlightened about something because of my business class, or it's probably always been me, because I've kind of always shaded against certain types of content creating. I was like, do what you need to do to make your money, but at the same time, I can't be down with that. And I feel like there's a trend in content creating that, especially with all the like hubbub about YouTube making the changes and all sorts of things, it's just like, it's becoming too toxic and it's not becoming as fun. And I'm trying to find myself to bring back the fun. And if I don't do it soon, I don't know what I'm going to do with content creating. So I'm kind of asking you guys, how do you think I should handle things as far as me making content? What is it that you like what I'm doing right now? What is it that you would like to see me do that I used to do? And what are your suggestions for things that I can do to be at peace? Because again, I don't want to be like the normal content creators that it seems to be like always trying to ride the wave of a trend. I've always been someone who likes to do how I fit, what I like, what I feel, what I'm passionate about, and what I can be open and honest about. I don't want to just be a content creator just to make content, just to make money, which I don't make at all. But if I were ever to get big, I just don't want to feel like I'm a slave to a certain thing, a certain style, or a certain way of doing things. So because again, I just figured out the recording part, so that's good. But there's still some other things that I'm worried about in this content creating business. So with that said, first of all, I will be getting back on Twitch eventually. I'm just trying to figure out some things. It may end up costing me money I don't want to spend, but at the same time, it may be money worth it to be able to do the content that I want to do, how I do, the way I do. It just won't be an astronomical amount of money if I wanted to do 4K TV streaming. That's ridiculous. But again, save that for another video. But again, just let me know what your suggestions are, how you would attack this problem. Anyway, as always, hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll hunt you later. This your boy Black Makers, and I'm out. Deuces.